Hello, everyone, and welcome to AMC Connects. I'm AnneMarie here, President and CEO of Rome Health. Very excited to be able to launch externally. Several months ago, we had launched a podcast internally here at Rome Health from the CEO and a variety of other contacts and information. And we're excited to be able to talk a little bit more about that and the evolution of the podcast. We'll do that in a few moments. We also have some information updates as it comes to the health and wellness of our community, and therefore some decisions made by the hospital. And of course, we have a special guest, which is really special because it's been tough to get him designated into a podcast. It's been difficult to retain him, and so I'm really excited about that. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, and Happy New Year. I don't know if it jumped out at people right away, but we've got some props here, Chuck and I.
This came out of nowhere. New Year's came out of just out of nowhere. It's like we're already here in the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Yes. And I can't believe that. Here we go, 2026. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yes. And you know what, Chuck? I'm just going to speak life into it. 2026 is going to be an absolutely amazing year. We've had an unbelievable few years. We talked about that on some previous podcasts, but 2026 is going to be unbelievable. Big things going to happen. Great things are going to happen. So Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you've had safe holidays and you're enjoying yourself. Well, as I said in the intro, AMC Connects is a podcast. It started as a pilot, as an internal communications for the Rome Health workforce, to start to talk about some internal topics, some themes that were coming up in the organization. So much has changed in a short period of time. Wanted to be able to have some deeper dives on some context. We also have themes that come up through the organization or questions that come from the workforce. And I thought, how well to be able to talk about some of these topics in a new way, like podcasting. A lot of people receive their information through this particular media outlet, so why not trial it? So we did about 6 weeks of a pilot, and then we kind of transitioned into permanent, and now we're going live publicly. And ultimately, the goal here is to inform, inspire, and engage people in the community, particularly as it relates to Rome Health, but healthcare topics overall. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you tune in more. The podcast is growing and we're receiving great feedback. I always put a plug in for the mailbag. The mailbag is one. Thank you, Chuck.
No, you said it.
Yes, we could do maybe a little cheer because it is New Year's. Yes, I'll talk about the pom-poms in a second because they came from a very special person in the organization. But we have the mailbag, which is a pathway in a communications and email where people can send in some questions, thoughts, or comments. We strive to have at least 3 of them. And if we have one that we talk about on the podcast, you get a prize. If there's one that kind of emerges as a deep dive topic, we invite a guest to talk about that topic, or we spend several minutes on it, you get an additional prize. Chuck is very creative and innovative. I probably should introduce him if you're new to the podcast.
It's okay.
Chuck Obenhasser is the man behind the camera. And
pushing
really
all the buttons.
Pushing all the buttons, making it right and making it great. Many people say this, it's not just me, but to know him is to love him. With that, we'll jump into a topic at hand, very serious topic, actually. We have seen in Oneida County the flu surge, and the flu surge pretty quickly. December 23rd, I believe, we sent out some internal communications which shifted us into masking again. I know that's many people's least favorite topic because many of us are still jarred and traumatized from our pandemic in the past, but really important. And there's several beliefs associated with masking and what that does in terms of preventable spread of flu. But there is some good evidence that had demonstrated that universal masking in certainly certain times and certain settings did decrease the transmission of flu. A couple dynamics going on. There's less vaccinations that are out there, so that notion of herd immunity has decreased over the last couple of years, I'm sure for a variety of different reasons. And then the way kind of flu and infectious disease kind of molds and changes and does all different things within the community. Very thankful for Katie Friat. She continues to monitor the county prevalence of flu and other infectious diseases for us and gives us great science-based feedback and evidence-based decisions to make sure that we can stay safe. And we did send out those communications like I had shared, and it was effective immediately. December 23rd, masking is required for all healthcare personnel in all Rome Health patient-facing areas due to the prevalence of influenza in Oneida County. In addition, patients and visitors are strongly encouraged but are not required to wear masks. It's really encouraged, of course, to make sure that we can all stay safe. What triggered the mask mandate? Oneida County has experienced a significant surge of influenza cases that has exceeded the threshold of 100 cases per 100,000 population over a 7-day average. Based upon state and federal guidance, Rome Health had previously adopted internal guidance and masking to protect patients, colleagues, and visitors from a rapid spread of the disease. We had started to see our precious workforce, many of you had communicated, thank you, that you are starting to have symptoms and testing positive. Where is masking required? Masking is required in any patient-facing area, as I said, including areas where patients may be located, such as hallways and elevators. This includes all areas on the main hospital campus and off-site locations, with the exception of the cafeteria and closed locker break rooms. All healthcare providers in closed areas where patients or residents do not normally enter must keep masks readily available and wear them in the event a patient or resident enters the area. And who is required to wear a mask? All healthcare professionals and personnel are required to wear a mask, regardless of flu vaccination status at this time. All of us includes all persons employed or affiliated with our healthcare or residential facility or agency, paid or unpaid, includes but is not limited to employees, members of the medical staff, allied health professions staff, nursing staff, contract staff, students, volunteers, anyone in the hospital, in the affiliated diagnostic treatment centers. I know when we were announcing this the other day, there were people that were like, praising this decision, and others that were like, ugh, how are we going to monitor this? I just want to underscore it. We will make sure that this particular research and how this is affecting our community will be watched every day, multiple times a day, and will likely, hopefully, come off this as quickly as possible as we start to heal and make sure the spread is minimized. But certainly very, very concerning. People have asked, are other hospitals in this particular state, have they made this decision? We've talked to other hospitals in the area, and they have recognized the prevalence and the concern associated with it, and they're making those decisions as well and working through the process. So more to come. Thank you, everyone, for staying in tune, because I would say this. We have wonderful assets at Rome Health. We have amazing facilities. Our technology is getting updated. We've done great, great things, and we have amazing assets, as I said, all across Rome Health. But the single most important asset is all of you. It is our workforce. Our workforce is closest to patients, which is why we're all here, and the families and caregivers of patients. Without you, we are not possible. So you are the most important, and keeping all of our workforce safe and coming into work safely is of utmost importance. So if you're having symptoms, if you're feeling off, if you're spiking a fever, if you have a cough, please take care of yourself. Stay home, inform our organization, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. With that, I did want to say the background as we transition into the pom-poms. Now, pom-poms kind of speak for themselves, especially on New Year's, right, Chuck?
Absolutely.
But maybe few people know, I've already said her name, that I received these pom-poms pretty early on in my time at Rome Health. How wonderful. I'm not sure exactly why, but the great leader who gave me these pom-poms is Katie Friat. As I said, she's our director.
Aw, Katie.
She does a lot of great things for Rome Health. Her critical role for us, like I said at the beginning, is that she is our infection preventionist, and she does amazing work here and for the community. She also serves as a leader at the Griffith Surgery Center, where we're a partner in that particular location. And she had given me these, and we were just going to take right off and encourage the organization with our big, bold beautiful plans that we had many years ago. So Katie, I thought no better a time than this to pull out the pom-pom, celebrate New Year's, and we're going to have a great 2026. Well, with that, we can transition into introducing our guest. As I said, I don't know if you're like waiting with great anticipation because I said it was hard to book him, right, Chuck? It was hard to get.
Absolutely.
There was cancellation.
Things happen.
Yeah, he was in, he wasn't, all of those things. But when we talk about a tremendous asset within our health network, this particular guest is like no other. He is a son of Rome and so much more. And that being such an important factor for me on how we've worked together over the last several years. I'm just so excited for this discussion. When we talk about the other assets, of course, our people, as I shared, are the most important, but the man helping to lead the way to secure all the great assets that we've been able to obtain over the last 5 years, he's with us right here in the room. With that, welcome Chet DiBari. Chet, our executive director of the foundation.
Happy New Year, and thank you for having me on the podcast.
Goodness.
Congratulations on your public launch. AnneMarie and Chuck, you guys have done a great job with it. So I'm excited to see where it might go externally.
Thank you, Chet. Yeah. And I don't think we can think of a better person for the external launch,
no.
right?
we talked about it earlier. We're like, you know what? It's going to be perfect to sit there and say, who could we have? Chet's just like the one that you really want when you start this publicly.
He is the one.
The one.
Chet, no pressure.
No pressure at all. Thank you.
Well, when I say and introduce you as a son of Rome, what does that mean?
It's tremendous, especially in this professional role that I have, serving Rome Health and this community. I'm working with people who I've known my entire life. So there's a lot of trust that's been built throughout my lifetime living in Rome. I did have a period of time where I was living in Washington, D.C. with my family, and then we decided to come back. But, being able to interface with families that I've known my entire life, school teachers, volunteer, members of our community, other board members from different organizations, it's been a real honor to be a son of Rome and serve in this capacity for a really large, important institution in our community, Rome Health.
Yeah. And you were gone for a while.
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
I say to employees on a regular basis, or people who have been at Rome and maybe have left Rome Health and maybe have left and then come back. And I always say when people are like, yeah, I'm back. And sometimes that's met with maybe mixed emotions inside people, right? But I always say, wow, when people are here and then go and grow and then come back, the network and maybe the community is that much better off. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I completely agree. So, growing up in Rome, it's, there's always sort of this attitude that sort of you're going to get your education and move on and, head out to greener pastures. And I did that for a period of time and I enjoyed it and it was wonderful. But making the decision to come back has been absolutely terrific. It's such a wonderful community to raise your family, to be close to family, and to raise your children in a community where you can feel safe and confident about the way that they can move through it and experience life. I get so many little anecdotes from my kids about running into this distant relative or running into this neighbor or, Dad, I met someone at the park who said they know you.
Yes.
I don't know who it was. I was like, can you give me some clues? So it's funny little things like that wouldn't happen if you were to plant roots in a new place like where I was in Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Just very quickly, what did you do in Washington?
I was working in politics. So my first position in Washington was working for Senator Bai of Indiana, working in the Senate, sort of the lowest paid staffer on the payroll, opening mail, responding to constituents. But in that process, I was able to learn about many important issues and also start to learn the legislative process and how these issues are getting worked out through the legislative process, so being able to communicate that. So from a very early standpoint in my career, being able to interface and communicate with the public has been something that I've worked through and worked on as a professional. And so many skills that I was obtaining back in 2007 when I got out of college, 2006 when I got out of college, I'm using to this very day. in 2020, almost 6.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we've known each other for like 5 years now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
5 years, and been working pretty intense together. We'll talk about that.
Arm in arm.
I don't think I've ever told you this. This is a little deep for a moment, but it's the truth. I remember when I met you and started hearing about your background and how much you know about this community, how much you know about the political structure and landscape, which are all areas as a CEO that I really had to learn very, very quickly, and didn't know and didn't have that type of background. When the first couple interactions I had with you, I anchored back to something that my father-in-law had always said. He was a pastor of a large community church in Syracuse, actually, just outside of Syracuse. And he would say, local people are the hope of the world. And my first few interactions with you, I was like, wow, I have hope, because I want to transform healthcare, and I think Rome is the place to do it and the institution to do it. And so thank you for that, Chet.
I love that. Thank you.
I was waiting for the right time to tell you that.
I appreciate that.
And this feels like the right time.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I love that.
Demonstrate a lot of hope.
It's what you make of it.
Yeah.
I could have poured my energy into building community in Washington, and stayed there.
Yeah.
And instead I'm doing it here in the community that launched me and my family. And it feels really good. When people complain about the area, I think about their lives and what they do and how they engage. And they're probably not living life as fully as maybe I am, volunteering and engaging in youth sports and, participating in the community with which I get to do professionally. Yeah. It's a whole different lens when you really get to lean into your community, and it's been really rewarding.
That's excellent. Kind of fuels you.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, can you share with us the mission of the Rome Health Foundation?
Yes. So the Rome Health Foundation's mission is to promote and advance Rome Health. It's our sole mission, is to make sure that Rome Health has the resources and opportunities to continue to grow and develop and care for more people in our community. And it's been a privilege and an honor to have the confidence in our board and the community to serve in this role and make sure that we can provide the best assets possible for the community as it relates to accessing their health care.
Awesome. Well, I've heard from many different stakeholders that are kind of looking at Rome Health and the Rome Health Foundation, and they're kind of in awe about the last 5 years. Well, what started it, Chet?
Well, I would like to say it was you setting a vision and a pace, and setting an example that attracted people to want to work hard, think differently, think critically, and engage our community in a very different way. I think it was a really special moment having the pandemic sort of frame the earliest stages of our work together over the last 5 years. And then just sort of working through that together as a community, as a team. You have put together a really terrific administrative team that works really well together and can pick up the phone and call one another and sort something out, get clarification in an instant. And we're very nimble and we get to move forward really quickly. So there's a lot, I think, of elements. I also think that the community was ready to have healthcare in their backyard that they could be proud of, that they could utilize in a different way. And we just needed to make sure we could give them that. And that's what we've been working towards.
That's great. Can you share with us, I know if people have paid attention to some of the, kind of external announcements and some of the communications that we've put out there, they might be in the know, but could you walk us through like where we started 5 years ago and where we are today?
Sure.
In terms of our fundraising.
Yeah, that's great. So I walked in the door of the Rome Health Foundation in August of 2020. At the same moment you walked through the doors of Rome Health, working through some special projects before you were named CEO. And so I actually got to witness you in action in one of those earliest senior staff meetings. You jumped right to the whiteboard, and I think Mark Murphy was working through a project. I think we were thinking through, I want to say it was the medical center plan. and we were building towards executing on that project, and
Yes.
we had 2 different grants that we needed to combine and execute on that. And there was just a lot for us to work through. And of course, we also have the lens of the pandemic in 2020. And you jumped right to the whiteboard and started distilling the conversation. And it was really fascinating to see you from that moment. And I remember some friends of mine that I have at St. Joe's, I was like, this woman's wonderful. She's great. She's so fascinating.
Thank you. Chuck, did you hear that?
I knew it all the whole time.
Fascinating. Maybe we'll want to hear a little bit more about that if we have time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So, it was a fascinating moment. So that was sort of the earliest stages of starting. That's kind of where we were at. When I walked in through the doors of the foundation, there was no staff. So it was up to me to sort of dust off the cobwebs and make sure that I could unfold what had kind of gone on since the team had resigned and moved on. So it was an interesting period, a lot of fact finding over that first year.
Yeah.
You did give me a couple of months to settle into my role before we launched any major projects.
Yes. Well, how from that early roots, thank you for sharing that with us, Chet, those early roots to now, what are you most proud of that the foundation has accomplished over the last 5 years?
I think there were so many amazing donors and relationships that the foundation had before I arrived. They had done a wonderful job of having events and building relationships, and I think with supporting the vision and the pace of the current administration of Rome Health, we had the opportunity to take it to the next level. So we've been able to welcome a wider audience of donors, but those earlier donors and those long established relationships were really pivotal in sort of setting the pace and making sure that the community knew that this was a good bet and that this was a great opportunity to invest philanthropic dollars. And now I'm just most proud of being able to help execute on various other projects and expand our wings as a foundation and interface with more vendors and more donors and more individuals in our community for the benefit of Rome Health.
Yeah, great. And you don't just work, on the focus of the foundation. I say just, which is just a tremendous job. Chet talked about this in one of those past moments where it was just him. And then we have Julia Reed now, who is like an amazing partner at the foundation. I say this often publicly because we've had so many opportunities to kind of share our story in different ways that it's just Chet and Julia. I mean, there's a wonderful foundation board. Like, I don't want to take anything away.
And we have some great volunteers
We've
as well.
We've got great volunteers, but I say this often, I describe them as the army of two. Like when we think about an army is a lot of people,
Yes.
right? But there's an army of two because they do behave that way for
Right.
sure.
And so I had started in August, and then by November I had hired Julia, and she was a godsend because there was, the more I was there, the more I knew I wasn't doing.
Yeah.
And so having her come really helped me.
That's a great,
I love that.
it's a great acknowledgement, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. So she just enables a lot of work for me to do sort of externally. And she's great at making sure that the trains run on time.
Yeah.
And,
You guys are a great team.
Yeah,
But
thank
you
you.
also
She's great.
help Cassie and I don't want to short this, you also help Cassie and I with our political efforts to be able to get attention to our grants and other pathways of dollars too. So I want to thank you for that.
Absolutely.
But it was neat, right? So that's kind of me anchoring back to my other statement that when people maybe leave and grow and then come back, they come back so enriched. You have this whole other skill set and knowledge that has been tremendously helpful. Again, for me, so self-absorbed, for me personally to do the role of CEO, but to be able to have avenues and understand how to talk to elected officials and those pathways. So thank you for that. But yeah, you spend time that way too, right?
I do, yes, and I enjoy it, and it allows me to sort of, flex that earlier muscle from when I was in Washington. I had various positions in public affairs and working with Congress and the administration and helping advance legislative priorities and kill the bad ones and all those things.
Yeah.
So, and now I get to do that for Rome Health, and there's nothing like it. Sort of working to serve the healthcare of our community, where I live, in my backyard. It's a really great opportunity.
Yeah. Seems humbling.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
So we're going to get a little deeper with a couple more questions.
Okay. Before that,
Yeah.
because it's New Year's Eve,
Yeah, let's do it.
do you think we should have a quick celebration?
What?
That's why. I love celebrations. Whoa.
So I brought us a little sparkling grape juice. To have a drink. Chuck,
We planned this. Chet was like, "What can I do?" And so
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you would be a part of the show.
Oh, what?
And so
You can go.
I only have two
No,
champagne glasses.
No. I told you to get the.
Chet. Chuck, I feel so.
I feel neglected.
I apologize.
I feel so privileged. How fun. Now, what is
The
this?
unfortunate part is that we're not going to get the pop of a champagne
Oh, and then like.
bottle.
So I'll make the sound
That's
effect
okay.
because I'm nice and I don't forget about people.
Oh, we are bubbling
Oh,
like
we
a
are
champagne
bubbling.
bottle, though.
Here we are. Katie
Lift that glass up, Chet. I can't see it. Lift the glass up. There we go. Now we're seeing action. There it is.
Wow. And what is this, Chet?
Sparkling grape juice.
Oh, wow.
For 8 a.m. on New Year's Eve. I thought it was most appropriate.
We're going to get this started. Right? Oh, Chet.
Okay. So cheers.
Cheers.
Happy 2026.
Yes, it's going to be great.
Excited to serve together for another year and see what comes of Rome Health this year.
Chet, thank you.
Woo! Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And it's delicious.
Welch's sparkling white
White
grape
grapes.
juice.
Okay.
I love your product placement too. I look at ANneMarie's. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, still getting over a cold. Love the product placement. That was good, Chet.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, look at that.
That's perfect. So going a little deeper, Chet, in the last 5 years, your greatest high and your greatest low.
Okay. The greatest high was probably when we got to cut the ribbon in May of this year
beautiful.
on our, was it May or June? I forgot. I'm sorry.
I think it was June.
It was June.
June,
On our latest project, which was the 4 brand new operating rooms, 2 procedure rooms, and 9-bed ICU, and brand new main entrance at Rome Health. We're still under construction for the rest of 2026, for a majority of 2026, as we bring the renovated PACU online, which is our old operating room. But I'm most proud of that. That was just absolutely tremendous.
That whole evening, right, to see the community's reaction, and
Yeah.
all areas of the community came.
Yeah, it was really fascinating
It was
to see.
wonderful to see
and
everybody in those tours and ask amazing questions and the pride.
right.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It was high.
and so while it's been 5.5 years that I've been in this role, we were probably talking about this project within the first 6 months. I remember Ryan Thompson, our chief operating officer, taking me down into, I think it was 2 North, and then we looked out to the north out the windows, and he's showing me a tree and a grassy area, and he's like, "You see that space right there?" He's like, "We got to figure out how to get 4 brand new operating rooms in there, and I need you to help me pay for it." It's like, okay, no pressure. I'm like 6 months into this executive director position, but it was a tremendous team that came together to execute on this project. Whether it was, doctors informing the plan and making sure that we were building the right space for their use, the administrative team working through the financial imperative, what it means to have a functional, expanded operating surgical space, and then working through with the donors to make sure that we had all the funding that we needed to execute and bring this project online. So it was tremendous.
I think it's probably pretty important to say and share with everybody that we had a couple expanded goals with the campaign for our master facility plan, and all these things going on in the late spring, early summer. And I kept saying to Chet, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Before that ribbon cutting, we have to make sure that we close the committed donors to the level that we've set the goal. And sure enough,
It happened.
it happened.
It sure did.
Like the week of.
The day before the ribbon
The day
cutting.
before.
Our community has some tremendous donors, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to work with them.
So what was your low?
I would say that, steering the ship out of the pandemic was not easy. It really sort of took my eye off the ball of what we were trying to do for the community. It was a huge distraction, obviously very valid and important major health issue that we needed to navigate, but it was just tough to kind of work alongside that. So we were trying to bring our events back online after they had all been, wiped out in, 2020. So those kind of starts and stops were frustrating, and that was tough to navigate.
How'd you navigate out of it personally?
I would say that, leaning into the board, making sure that it was a collaborative effort, having sort of lots of different conversations and taking, I feel like in this role, I have to take in a lot of advice and input from people with very different agendas and very different positions, whether they're community volunteers on my board, business owners on my board, partners of the hospital on my board, the administrative team, but then sort of like distilling down all of that information for the best outcome for the health of the foundation.
Yeah.
So it was, that's kind of how I navigated it.
Wow, Chet, very proud of you.
Thank
Beyond thankful for you and that hope. Oh, the energy. Thank you for giving me hope, and then certainly an entire workforce, and I would say community, by securing what we've been able to secure.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
with
Thank
all
you.
of that. Now, what ask do you have of us?
It's an interesting question that I was not thinking through. I think for the foundation, making sure that, especially, I think through the lens of this audience, and I think our first audience is our staff and our team. And without a great workforce providing great care, bedside or not, whether you're cleaning a bathroom or checking a patient in or at the bedside, it's so important that you do your best, because when I have these donor conversations, 9 times out of 10, the conversation begins with an anecdote or a story about a friend, a neighbor, a grandmother who experienced care at Rome Health. And I'm so grateful and so proud to report that most of these stories are very, very positive. And they haven't always been, but nowadays they're all very positive. And without a great team in place, there's no way that I could pivot the conversation from a negative, opening anecdote into a major gift request from this donor.
Yeah.
It's a very hard conversation to navigate.
Yes.
So making sure that we're providing great care and that people believe in our work so that they can support the foundation, and then in turn we can grow and have access to more equipment and programs and resources that the hospital needs to advance.
It's great, Chet. Thank you. Living out excellence, right? It's a big part of our vision that we're going to provide excellent care to the community. And I think Chet said it so well, giving it our best every day and what we can, living out our mission is really what the best thing we can all do. When in doubt, live out the mission, vision, and values, right? Chet, I'm very excited because maybe new viewers don't know this, but a very popular part of AMC Connects is the rapid fire.
All right.
So we're going to transition into the rapid fire. I will take note that it could at times take people a little off guard of what the questions are. If, again, I'm sure you've seen, because I'm sure this is your favorite podcast, Chet.
That's right.
Yeah, but so you may or may not have known these questions. So I don't know if Chet's really had any prep, but we'll just jump right in.
Let's do it.
Your favorite go-to gas station snack?
Snyder's of Hanover, you know that brand?
Yes.
The honey mustard pretzels. Have you ever had them?
Yes, I
They're
have.
so good. But they also sell them in 2 ways. There's pieces and there's nuggets. You got to go with the pieces.
Pieces.
Because the pieces have more flavor. The nuggets is too much pretzel and less flavor. It's a game changer if you compare the two.
Yeah, we are getting to know Chet on a deeper level right now. Yes, and that is all
I'm liking
true.
it. I'm liking it too so far. So
I
that's
know,
a good answer.
that is all true what he
They're
just
so
said.
good.
Yeah, pieces people, not the pretzel. I don't know if
Yes.
Snyder's would be happy with us, but we're
The
loving
pieces
the
are delicious.
pieces are delicious.
And they also changed their bag. It threw me for a loop. They used to be, growing up, that was like a goldish color, and now it's purple.
Yes.
Yeah, they've rebranded. But
Ooh, you got to pay attention.
It's
these
still
days.
out there.
Pay
Yeah.
attention to the gas station, people, or you might get the wrong pretzels. That's another piece of advice from Chet. Okay, have you ever won a contest?
Have I ever won a contest? Oh, goodness. I think so. One that always jumps out at me was growing up, video to roll. had like some sweepstakes. It was like a video rental store.
Oh, okay.
Right? I
was only familiar with Blockbuster.
It was
yes.
before Blockbuster. So in Rome,
Got
we
it.
don't always get like the big national chains. It's only new that we're getting Chipotle and Starbucks.
Sure.
But we had Video to Roll, which I think was like a Blockbuster knockoff.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yes. And
We had it in New Hartford too.
so there was some sweepstakes that like I think my brother and I like signed us up for, and we were and so I don't know if this is me winning or my family, but we won, and it was like this giant Hershey's bar. It was like this big, and it was like that
Nice.
thick, and I just remember my mom like being slightly irritated that we won this thing, and we were toting it around to like
mother.
soccer games, and we're like breaking it off and giving it away to people.
That's the best. How long
was
did
funny.
it take you to get through it?
I can't
This Hershey
remember,
bar.
but this is a giant Hershey bar that we had won from, I think it was like Blockbuster type Video to Roll.
I'm very impressed with this.
Yeah.
That is great. And you and your brother didn't fight over it.
No, because there was enough.
Oh, come
There was enough
on.
chocolate.
Come on.
We fought, but there was enough chocolate to go around.
This is excellent. Okay, your favorite toy as an adult.
Favorite toy as an adult? Interesting. So when my kids were younger, so they don't play with these anymore, but Magnetiles, I don't know if you know what those are. You probably don't, because they kind of like blew onto the scene definitely after your boys were of age.
Because I'm old.
No, it's
Older. According to our future guest, older.
Okay.
Keep going.
But they're just like magnetic squares, and you can build, and you have tons of them, and you just build like these things. And I just remember being on the floor and like enjoying these toys infinitely more than my kids ever did. So I was constructing all of these like large castles and garages for their cars that they would then use. But
So, see, these are the subtle joys of parenthood that people don't really recognize, that Chet just underscored for us. I like that, Chet. That's great. Okay, favorite movie?
ooh, favorite movie.
I know.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm partial to Goodfellas.
Oh, okay.
It's a good movie.
Great.
There's just a lot of really subtle jokes that I think my Italian heritage that resonate with me. Not all of them,
Yeah, but let's preface like, hey, hold on.
but a couple of
You can pick up on them.
anecdotes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. And then last one, your hidden talent.
Oh gosh.
I was excited about this.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I didn't know what Chet's was going to be.
No,
I
hidden
know.
talent. That's really hard.
I know.
I don't know what I have for a hidden talent.
I think you
Probably
do.
'cause you
Don't
have
hold
so
back.
many.
It's okay. You can share.
This
You
is
can
a
tell
stump.
us.
Has anyone else been stumped?
Chuck stumped me on a couple episodes
Okay.
ago, so you can watch me kind of like have that face, you know, when he stumped me on a question. I mean, I don't know that I know you that well to know what could be a hidden talent, but kind of on the surface, I mean, you're a really good athlete, right? You
I
know,
am, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like hidden talent has to be something like quirky that like.
Right, you could play the flute or something.
Right.
Like people wanted you in a symphony or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, no one wants me in a symphony.
Yeah, no, I don't have any of those traits either.
In fact, I was actually, because this is 8:00 in the morning, and I wanted to make sure that my voice was ready to go. I was like singing to Sirius on the way over to like work my voice out. And I was
Do you need me to pull the song up? I mean, we
Gosh,
can do
this is-
singing here right
this
now. We
is
can do some
awful.
karaoke.
So, singing is not a hidden talent. I might have to get back to you on this one.
Okay.
I apologize.
Oh no, that's great. I'm so honored. I'm so honored by this whole segment. This is great. Well, Chet, we do have a small prize for you. I'm sure you've seen it around, but we do have our own
right.
branding here at AMC Connects, and for
Yeah, we do.
guests, it's just a little
I'm excited.
treat.
Thank you.
The origin of this, if you didn't see one of the podcasts, was well, of course, Chet, because Chuck is creative, very, very creative. And we were saying, like, what can we just kind of have a takeaway for people with? And I think I had the discussion, Chuck's done all the wonderful branding, but I had a discussion where there was like part of the workforce that have all these like add-ons to their purses, to their water bottles, to their glasses. I'm like, what is this? Like Rome Health is so cool. I'm like the least cool person, it feels like, right? So I'm seeing these all over the place. And so you can be cool with,
I love
yes,
this.
with the rest of the workforce that really jazzes up all their stuff that they have with them. Thank you, Chet. Sincerely, great work. Congratulations on all, and
you.
thank you for all you've done for Rome Health. We're so looking forward to the future, and it's going to be a great 2026.
It's going to be
right?
a great 2026. And congratulations on the podcast. I've gotten to have a front row seat to AnneMarie Chiz from day one. And obviously we work really well together because we've been very successful together as a partnership. And I'm just so excited that more of the community is going to get to consume content led by you, because I think you set a bold vision for Rome Health, but you lead by example, and there's nothing that you would expect our staff to do that you wouldn't do. I'm struck by, the day after the tornado hit, you arrived to the hospital in scrubs the next day because it was a work day, in a different kind of work. And, you roll your sleeves up whenever it's required of you. And I think that's what inspires the team to flex and to stretch and to do more with less, especially in a challenging healthcare landscape. So thanks for doing this and taking your message to a wider audience, because I think our community will be very inspired to learn more about you and our vision.
Oh, thank you, Chet. Maybe two closing thoughts on that one. I deeply love the work of healthcare. And I hope it comes through.
It does.
Because it's so important, and it's so important to redesign it, to think differently, to keep it patient-centered and community-centered. And I deeply love Rome. I love serving here. I feel like everybody acts the way I act within our workforce, where whatever needs to be done, our employees are like in the moment, they're present. And so it's kind of act in the best interest of our community, and we'll think about things after the fact. And I just want to be a part of that energy. So thank you. Thank you for seeing it. And certainly we'll be able to see from all of you what you think of AMC Connects. You have the opportunity certainly to reach out to me directly, but we want to talk about key topics. We want to have fun. And certainly, as Chet said, getting to know me as a CEO and how I can be better and better and better for this great community. I would say in 2026, our goal is to be able to hear into the future. We'll have more guests on, our physicians. We have an upcoming segment that will introduce the physician and a longer discussion, and be able to talk about different specialties, different parts of healthcare that are having some new and emerging information coming forward, which has changed since many of us kind of first knew some of these key aspects of healthcare. So that's going to be fun. Certainly being able to spend time with leaders at every level of the organization. We've done that a little bit before now. We'll continue to do that into 2026. We'll have hot off the press items, and hopefully we'll be joined by some elected officials in the near future. So we've got a great agenda into 2026, and looking forward to hearing from you more. Thank you, everyone, for creating the best care out there here.